Concept 2.3 is mostly about the trade that happened between the new empires that were growing and developing at this time. The first Roman numeral is about just the things that affected the trade routes at the time, which could be things like climate, the location of the trade route, and the goods that were along the trade route. Like, for example, the silk in China, people in other places wanted that. So wherever people wanted that is the places where the Silk Road would grow and expand to incorporate just those areas that wanted silk from China. The second Roman numeral is about the new technologies that were developed because of the trade and to assist the trade. For example, like the saddle and the yoke, those things assisted the trade for transportation. So to get goods from one place to another, you could now use pack animals to help that, or the lateen sail, because then you could tack against the wind and use that to navigate the sea more easily and get your goods from one place to another using the ocean. The third Roman numeral is about other things that were passed on these trade routes. So not only just products were traded, but also things like disease and intellectual ideas such as like irrigation systems and religion and cultural beliefs. Some vocabulary that'll help you in this unit is here. The first one is mostly about the trade routes that were developed. The second one is about the technology that was developed because of these trade routes. And the third one is about the ideas that were passed. A lot of it is about irrigation systems because that was a big part of the effects of trade because it helped agriculture. Some evidence here for the first one, you have silk and then a map of the trade routes because both of them, silk and the location of the trade routes, affected the trade routes because, like I said, silk, you'd have to find this sort of supply and demand, and wherever there was demand, you'd have to get the silk from China to the place. And just the location of the trade route could affect what was passed along it and what areas were involved in it. The second one, these are two inventions that help trade. These are stirrups for a saddle, and you could now ride and use pack animals to transport your goods from one place to another. And another is the dhow ship with the lateen sail, which is the triangular sail that you can see. And it was used to navigate the sea more easily. So instead of oh no. So you could more easily get your goods from one place to another, but using the sea. The third one, it's mostly about things that were spread. The first one is a qanat, and you can sort of see how it works there. And it was used to irrigate and used for farming and things like that. And that was passed along, and it was very popular in Persia, but it was passed from place to place through the trade routes. Another is Christianity, and that was also passed along the trade routes, and it sort of changed and developed more as time went on and as it spread from place to place. This is another map of the trade routes and what was or what were the major cities and just along these trade routes, so you can see where they were. A helpful video. This one's a crash course about mostly the Silk Road and other trade routes just that were affected. Primary sources, they're both about trade routes and the Silk Road, which is what was mostly talked about in this key concept. And that's all.